Hey, you guys. I wanted to come on and give you guys some tips because I've been thinking lately and I've been realizing how much I've been moving around and traveling and doing all this work, and I hadn't stopped in a while to really appreciate the world around me. So I wanted to tell you guys about ways that you can use your senses to connect more to life and to your body and to the world around you, and to use that to enhance the pleasure, the overall pleasure that you feel in life. So here goes. The first one is to be quiet. Okay. I say be quiet, and I mean to still yourself, calm yourself, and open yourself up to receiving. Sometimes when we're so tense or when we are worried or scared, we try to close ourselves off and try and close off our senses so that we don't feel. If we're overwhelmed, we try not to think too much. We try not to take in too much information. So the first things first is opening yourself up to receiving. Guilt-free, unapologetically. Take your time. Number 2 is to take that time that you now have and observe. So you have your senses, you have sight, taste, touch, smell, and hearing. If you have all those, of course, some people don't have all those, but those that you have, once you take time to observe, it'll put yourself in a position where you can observe. One thing I recommend is going for a walk, or maybe coming into an open space, gazing out the window, or coming into some sort of environment where you are able to use all of your senses. So number 3 is to savor every piece of stimuli. So stimuli are the things where your senses pick up. So if I smell food being cooked, that's stimuli. So you're taking time to observe and you're savoring every piece. I'll give you some examples. If I'm outside and I'm taking a walk and I brush against my scarf and I feel the fabric, let's say it's cashmere, or maybe it's cotton, maybe it's a knit or wool, and enjoying the feel of that for however long I need to. I don't care if I look crazy just sitting there, just touching my scarf. Like, oh, this feels so great. Yes, I'm going to do that. Let's say for sound, maybe the sound of someone's voice. If you call a friend or call your mom or call a loved one, the sound of their voice can bring a lot of comfort to you. And really take the time to hear the inflections in their voice when they're sounding excited, or if they sound happy about something, or even if they sound scared or sad. Those are the tiny things that's going to bring more depth to the appreciation of that stimuli. For taste, like let's say a taste of a pineapple or some fruit, chocolate, something nice, and really taking time, closing your eyes, cutting off all the other senses, and just enjoying that. Smell, you can smell your favorite perfume, you can smell somebody's cologne, you can smell, one of my favorite things, it's funny, but when you first do laundry and it comes out the dryer and it smells like the fabric softener, that's one of my favorite smells. And sights, I like to think of the sight of the sunset or the sunrise. So basically whatever gets some sort of response out of you, to just take a couple extra seconds and indulge in it. So number 4 is to recall all of those things during times of stress. If you're no longer in that environment where you initially took those things in, that's fine. Think about it. I like to think about the sound of the waves the last time I was at the beach. And then I can kind of feel my shoulders drop and my voice not be so high and tense. And place yourself there. Some people remember the smell of their mom's cooking. Or maybe the grass outside when they were playing as a kid. Sometimes points of time and nostalgia can have their own smell. Number 5 is releasing and opening yourself up to more sources. So let's say you always go back to a certain thing. Sometimes we cling to certain kinds of stimuli or certain feelings when there are so many more to experience in a second. I could love the smell of flowers, but then be sitting right next to something that smells just as great. So being open to the fact that I can release these things and more is going to come to me. So, those are the five ways to use your senses to enhance your pleasure in everyday life and to just indulge and connect and ground yourself into the world around you. So, going over again, 1, quiet your mind, quiet any kind of defense mechanisms, open yourself up, make yourself a little bit more vulnerable to receiving. 2, take time to observe. 3, savor every piece of stimuli. 4, recall. And 5, release and open yourself up to more. Okay, you guys, I wanted to just come on just for a little bit and talk to you guys about that. Let me know what you're observing today, what you're thinking, what you're perceiving, and what is bringing you joy and pleasure and calm. And I'll talk to you guys later. For this weekend, New York is this weekend, Baltimore is next weekend. We have the Vixen Camp with the double workshops on the Friday, or in Baltimore the Saturday. And then the following day is the Intro to Sensual Dance, where we're going to go over some of these principles as well. So make sure you're signed up. As always, space is super limited. I like spending a lot of time with you guys and giving one-on-one attention. So yeah, it's going to be small spaces. So all right, you guys, have a great one.